All right, word. Cool. So I'm recording, you're recording. We'll be able to sync this up.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
This is always Stu because I'm like, what did we talk about and stuff? But
well, no, that's why I figured, or I felt like I needed to say something. So if we're syncing it, it wouldn't be like, well, okay, I'll wait for 10 minutes for you to talk and then be like, yeah, that sounds right. But anyway.
From Elevate Digital, the Vocal Minority Report presents the Negro News Minute. Dateline, New York City, New York.
Respected highly. Hi, Mr. O'Reilly. Hope all is well. Kiss the plaintiff and the wifey.
It appears Bill O'Reilly, Maxine Waters' favorite person in the world, is out at Fox News after the New York Times scathing report on all the money that Fox has paid out after him, I don't know, treating women like Trump treats women, for lack of a better term.
13 million.
Wait, who's that voice? What is that? What's happening here? I thought this was my...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, wait.
Hello, world.
Wait.
Hello, world. Of course, this is not Bill O'Reilly. I'm sorry. He's not on this show.
Exclusive! Yeah, no, this is not Bill O'Reilly. This is, in fact, my brother. Another Negro on the show. I don't know if do you like the term Negro? Can I say Negro? Are you good with that?
I don't mind it so much. My wife is not the biggest fan of it, but I am a card-carrying member, so I'm good with it.
Well, your wife's not a Negro, so I can understand why she might not understand it. But I've probably said too much, so we don't want to give away the identity of your wife. I know she wants to.
Yeah. Don't get me in trouble.
I know she wants to say.
I don't want to have to pay her $13 million.
No. Oh shit. Oh man, I don't know if that was as funny as I just made it, but that was funny to me. I was going to say she's trying to be incognito, but your joke was funnier.
Luda.
But back to who this is, that voice is. That is my actual brother, ER, not the A, which is the opposite of how we usually speak with the ERs and the A's. But this is my brother, Jay, coming out of, what, you at Bossier City, Louisiana? In the country? Where you at?
Yeah, coming straight out the boot. Here we go.
Word. So yeah, we put him on the Negro News Minute. He is an avid listener of the Vocal Minority Report, obviously because he's my brother, and checked out the News Minute, and every day is like, hey man, you should have said this, or hey, what about this story, or hey, then I'm like, you know what? You should come on here and do these stories with me. So we're going to test this out. We don't know how this will work, but we're going to test this out. Hopefully you can tell the difference between his voice and my voice, and everything will be all right. So back to this Bill O'Reilly story. Yesterday, you, Jay, were all hype about me not including this breaking news. And now this morning, you're a little more subdued about it. So what's changed in this 24 hours regarding O'Reilly and his firing? Have you found out anything additional? Are you surprised about the firing? How you feel? What's going on?
Well, let's first start off by, obviously I'm not surprised by it. But with that being said, the reason why I was looking for it from you was that to me it's been so hush hush in the mainstream sort of way. Now, granted, most people are going to get your news from MSNBC or CNN or, of course, Fox. But yesterday, Fox was very, very quiet. And so as I'm watching CNN, guess what pops up? Guess what? The da-na-na. Shout out to SportsCenter, even though it wasn't on there.
I was about to say, wait a minute. I thought you were doing a CNN shout out, and then you went into the SportsCenter music. A little confused, but okay.
My bad. I don't know how CNN does their break-in music. I'll go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How about that? Is that a little better for you? But they broke the story, and so I quickly went over to Fox, and there was nothing. It was complete silence. And so that just sparked my intrigue on, okay, so when will Fox finally say or admit that, hey, this guy is gone? So that was the biggest reason why I kind of wanted to hear this story, because to me, every night, obviously one of the most watched cable news shows
it's Fox
in the world.
Fox highest rated show.
Right. And so, but no one said anything. You know what I mean? And so that's why it just.
But
I was just going to say, and today, now the dust is settled. Now I'm not basking in the glory of it, but at the same time, I'm just content with the fact that, hey, he got what he deserved.
Well, no doubt. And so apparently there was an investigation.
Yes, done by Fox, just like they did with Roger Ailes, about a 2-week investigation. He stepped down, and then consequently the same happened with Bill O'Reilly. Internal 2-week investigation, and then that came to that conclusion. I guess it was time for him to go.
Yeah, they issued a statement after a thorough and careful review of the allegations. The company and Bill O'Reilly have agreed that Bill O'Reilly will not be returning to the Fox News channel. That's what Fox said. And it looks like in a statement of his own, O'Reilly released on Wednesday afternoon, he said, quote, "It is tremendously disheartening that we part ways due to completely unfounded claims, but that is the unfortunate reality many of us in the public eye must live with today." Well, I tell you, the nerve of some people, man.
It is.
But do you know where he was when he found out?
Oh, he was hanging with the Pope.
Yeah, how crazy is that? I mean,
Yeah.
they talk about, was that staged? I mean, my man just has to be kicking it with the Pope.
Well, when you think about it, he's been on a 2-week vacation, so he knew this was coming, or had to have known this was coming, because why hasn't he been on his own news show for the past 2 weeks? So.
You know what? And those ratings have been the highest in the last 2 weeks too. So folks are looking for it too. He hadn't even been on, but folks are still tuning in, and those ratings have been super high. But I say, hey, shout out to Maxine Waters, because this is what happens when you come for an old school black woman. You don't talk about her hair. That's what happens. Within a couple weeks, your ass is gone. See, you don't fuck with Maxine. See, he was trying to be all cute on Fox and Friends in the morning, talking about how she looked like James Brown with her hair and her wig and shit. And now look at his ass. So don't fuck with Auntie Maxine. All right.
Yeah, I mean, would it be bad if I said I agree with him? Okay, no, never mind.
Yeah, we had to cut that out, man. You can't be on the show, man. I'm gonna leave that in there, but I thought about editing it out.
No, that's fine.
All right. Anyway, so we're done with that story. So I'm looking for the next story. Dateline White America. The death of the American dream may be killing many young white Americans, according to a story on Breitbart. Somebody please cue the sad piano music. So are they suffering from white privilege flu? I think we call that affluenza here in Texas, but that's another story, right? So apparently the death rates for young Americans have increased substantially from 1999 to 2014, according to a recent report. Much of that increase has been driven by white women, actually, ages 25 to 35. Would you believe that all other ethnic groups apart from Native Americans, which sucks, by the way, have experienced a decline in mortality rates? Now we'll bring in our special correspondent, Uncle Jay, to break the story down a little further. I know you got some unique insight on this.
Well, yeah, actually, and I appreciate you having me on today, even though I feel like I'm part of the family. But anyway.
Well, special correspondent was not literal. You're, yes.
It's all good, man. I feel the love, even though the story sounds like it.
There's nothing special about you. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, just going back to your storyline, if you will, speaking of family, keeping it in the family. My takeaway, it seems like it's all about parenting and that angle of have they gotten to a point, or have we gotten to a point as a society to where, let's say, the Black, the Latino, those family groups, or families, I should say.
It's interesting you bring that up, because the recent survey of millennials has found that white millennials are far less likely to believe in some of the basic features of the American dream, quote unquote, right? So to be specific, it says only 46% of younger whites agree with the statement that I believe that everyone can achieve their dreams if they try hard. Conversely, for Black millennials, the figure is 59%, for Hispanics 56%, Asians 55%. White millennials are also more likely to agree with the statement that the American dream is no longer a possibility for most Americans, no matter how hard they work. So
I wonder what that American dream is. Maybe that's what needs to be defined first, huh?
Well, I think definitely, and I think that goes to the election of the times that we're living in now and making America great again. I've always said, Trump is a 70-year-old man, so that means he was born in the 30s. Just quick math, right? So he was born in the 30s, so that means his heyday was in the 50s through the, like in the 50s, really, like the teenagers coming of age. So I'm like, he wants to go back there to the 40s and the 50s. And obviously, things have changed. A white middle class man in this world has it bad, I guess, or so says the Electoral College. But I thought your point on parenting was spot on. If it's parenting, or would you think it might be anything else wrapped in that?
Well, I just think that it's a point to where, to be honest, especially millennials, I just don't think they care. I think that each person, especially the younger they get or the younger they are, it's about their own identity. It's about their own path. So for you, or for this story to say the American dream, well, of course, nowadays, what is that American dream? You know, the days of, hey, I got to have the big house, the sports car, you know, the model wife. I mean, in some instances are still there. But I think for the most part, you have most of that, people have that, or most millennials have that at the palm of in the palm of their hand, which is their phone, their iPad, their device. And so I just feel like that is skewed because of the fact that how do you then define it if it's not through parenting, or it's not through quote unquote an American dream by a 70-year-old president? Then where do you fit in, and how do you fit in?
I think what it is that diversity is scary. And I think that diversity is scary for some white folks. And I think that's what they're saying here, is that we as people of color, one of my favorite terms, you know, we are conditioned to work harder. I mean, you know, some people don't like that. You know, you got to work harder, but it is true. That's the world we live in. You know, we talk about the white patriarchal capitalist society that we live in. Women, people of color, have to work harder, if you like it or not. And I think that we're all okay with that and been conditioned that way for quite some time now over these years. Whereas, again, that white middle-class guy feels like they're losing ground. But one thing that is important to note here is that they say it's not surprising then that the increase in death rates of young white Americans is driven by suicides and accidents, which are largely deaths to drug overdoses. So when they say accidents, they don't refer to, they're not talking about a car, they're talking about drug overdoses. So I think that's important to note as well.
Yes, yeah. I'm about to say, and we all know what that epidemic is, and it's growing. So yes.
Suicides. I've argued with people. I argued with our father, actually, about whether or not there's more suicides than murders annually. And I'm pretty sure that there are more suicides than murders. Just suicides are underreported. But that's a whole nother topic. We'll save that for another day. Hey, did you see Aries Spears get mollywopped?
You said Aries, I think I'm funny. Nobody really knows who I really am. Spears. Is that who you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. But he is funny. He does get in a lot of beef though, but he is funny though. And
he can be funny. He can be funny. But no, I didn't know. What was that? What happened?
Man, shut up. You know it. You know what happened. Are you playing radio?
No, I'm serious. I don't know what the hell happened. What happened?
You really don't? Oh, man. He was on the Corey Holcomb. You know who Corey Holcomb is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Raw.
That dude
just
is
raw.
one of the...
Raw.
Yes, the dude is super, super raw. But anyway, so he was on Corey Holcomb's show. I think it's a podcast actually, but it was, you know, they videotape it too. Sitting there, sitting real close to a dude, another comedian. I mean, if people barely know who Aries Spears is, you damn sure don't know who the other brother is. I don't know his name. But anyway, so Aries is getting on him and
just clowning. What you mean? Just clowning?
Just clowning. I mean,
just snap.
Right.
Okay.
The clip I've seen is so short, like the context isn't really there. But there's some banter for about 30, 40 seconds. Because my man says, if you keep on, your eyes gonna be black like that for real. That's what the comedian says to Aries.
Well, he does look like Aries, a raccoon. Yes, he does have like a raccoon.
Right.
Yes.
So, and then Aries says something about light skinned dudes, and then I mean, it's just it's just one of them things. But clearly, my man is touched, and then all of a sudden, he just gets up and swings on Aries, but not in a G way, but he leads with his forearm, so his fists are balled up because they're sitting very close to each other, right? Within like literally arm's length, but his fists are balled, and he stands up and he swings that kind of short arm where I don't want to hit you in the face with my fist, so I'm gonna swing my forearm. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I'm making the motion.
Yeah, but let you know I'm coming. Yeah,
but then does not stop. Like he's like wailing on him, and Aries is like a turtle. It just covers his head. arms, as you would protect your head. He just covers his head and sits there, and it's the craziest shit, man. Like and in the camera, and you see Corey Holcomb looking like, what in the fuck? Like it's crazy, man. It's
because then you're thinking too, like you two are grown ass men. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but it's more so on the dude. And I need to look up the comedian. Because this is a show that we're recording, I can look this up and see. I love it when I type in Ari Spears in Google. It says it auto populates Ari Spears punched. See that's the world we live in.
Well, think about it. What other information is it really going to pull up for Ari Spears though?
They'd be like, why are his eyes so black? It might say that.
I mean,
this Ari Spears repeatedly punched in the head. I mean, it's not funny, but it is. Oh my gosh, the way people describe it, crazy video. It's let's see, who's my man? Who hit this dude? Because of course it's on TMZ. There's a 1:07 clip.
Oh, okay.
Bone light skinned nigga.
Hey, that motherfucker put hands on you, nigga. Give you real black eyes.
Come on, don't do that, nigga.
And that's the truth, nigga.
Trust me, nigga. You could trust me.
I've had about enough of your shit. That's the truth, nigga. Shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
The loudest niggas are the light skinned niggas.
Yep.
That wish they could be black.
But that'll do that work though.
No, I know. Go ahead with your
Okay,
little
let's
salt.
all
I'm not drunk, nigga.
I know.
I don't drink, nigga. I'm very clear minded.
Which means I'll fuck you up
Okay.
even more because I'm drunk, nigga.
Well, hold up.
Oh.
I heard him say, "Get a real black eye."
It still doesn't tell me who the comedian was. This dude must not be famous at all. So we're not going to spend any more time trying to figure out who the comedian is. If you're listening to the show, then you know who it is. TMZ didn't even mention Oh Boy's name. So,
well, you got two well-known names outside of that, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
All right, but back to the news, though. All right, let's shift here. We'll play the sounder so we have a break. Go to a serious story. Dateline, Caddo Parish, Louisiana. Rodricus Crawford, who spent nearly 5 years on death row, has had his charges dismissed by Louisiana prosecutors. Crawford's case drew national attention after he was convicted of smothering his 1-year-old son to death in 2012, and really more so because of its connection to former Caddo Parish District Attorney Dale Cox, who stoked controversy with his enthusiasm for capital punishment, once telling a reporter, quote, we need to kill more people. And that's according to NBC News. Hey, so this is near you, right? I mean, Caddo Parish, this is just a coincidence that we have you on the show. So do you know about this case or Caddo Parish?
No, I mean, I am, of course, familiar with Caddo. I used to pronounce it wrong. I'd be like Cato all the time, and then I've been corrected a few times. But yeah, so we're like a few miles away from here. Basically, it's Shreveport area. I'm in the Bossier City area. But yeah, so I'm not familiar with the case, but I'm definitely familiar with the area.
So apparently in November, an appeals court ordered a new trial citing racial discrimination by prosecutors during jury selection. The DA's office, which is no longer headed by that Dale Cox, said, quote, without any evidence of intentional acts by Crawford that directly caused the death, the state faced competing possibilities of neglect by Crawford and potentially other family members in the care and treatment of the child. Wow, that doesn't sound like, they did dismiss the charges, but that doesn't sound like a rousing.
Right. Basically, there was no burden of proof and they couldn't, it was so circumstantial, unfortunately, for the child. But yes, there was no proof that he was the one that actually committed the crime, if you will. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it appears though, based in this area, and I think you got some info on this too, but based in this area, it seems like going to death or being sent to death row is just what's going to happen. So while it may seem a little murky, if they can't prove it with beyond a shadow of a doubt, which clearly they cannot, then I'm glad that he's certainly out. His lawyers had argued that the medical evidence cleared Crawford and said that the little boy had pneumonia and died of sepsis. So that's been the defense's claim. Back to this DA, this Cox, and why this case is a little bit more murky is because of Cox and his reputation. In fact, during the trial, he suggested to jurors that Jesus Christ would want to sentence Crawford to death. And then after the conviction of Crawford, Cox told the probation office that Crawford deserved, quote, as much human suffering as physically possible before his death.
Yeah, and to go back on your point, or go to that point right there, he's been quoted as saying that he sees the death penalty, and so I could see why he would actually say that, is that he sees it as revenge, not a deterrent.
Okay. See, and I think that goes against what the death penalty is supposed to be, because in my mind, I've always heard it's supposed to be a deterrent. We all know it's not, but that's always what it's been sold as. And I feel like this is like the third episode we've done this week, or maybe since we launched this new segment, talking about the death penalty. You know, we got the case down in Florida with the state attorney suing the governor for refusing to pursue the death penalty, and she's been removed from those. We had the judge in Arkansas who granted the restraining order to prevent the rapid executions happening. And then obviously there's countless stories, about this.
Right.
So,
unfortunately, yeah.
But, in these areas where you're young, poor, and black and already have a criminal record, it can be even more trying for you. And a matter of fact, Cecilia Capel, one of Crawford's attorneys, said the DA's decision was a relief for her client. So I guess in spite of the negative comments, if he's out, he's out, right? She commented further on her client, saying that he had been forced to stay in his hometown of Shreveport while free on bond, but can now leave the state, saying it's been really tough for him. He wasn't in the greatest situation in life as a poor black man in Shreveport who had a bit of a criminal record, and he spent almost 5 years on death row in a small cell with no windows.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. So when you're talking about a Shreveport, you're only talking about a county or a parish that only basically has 250,000 people. So you're not talking about, and then you have the rural areas, mixed in with that. It's very, very rural out here. So I could only imagine for him or for that situation, and you could not leave the state of Louisiana, that what he was going through within what you were saying with his attorney.
Oh, you know what? This sounds a whole lot too. Reminds me kind of the Stephen Avery. It's not the same thing, but
hold on. Are you telling me I got to open up my weekend? Am I going to be binge watching? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I have to clear my weekend.
Yeah, no. Nothing new on that front. No, I'm just saying this as far as the town maybe having an end for you, if in fact that is the case. Some of these small towns. He also told his lawyer that he feels like he can't live in Shreveport anymore. Said he's in danger there, and he feels like he's a target. He does plan to move back to Dallas, where he has a daughter. So he wish that brother luck and his life and whatever happens down there. But, at least he's out, man. 5 years on death row. So,
most definitely.
Yeah. So, all right. So, let's close the show on a lighter story. Let's move to the Midwest, and we'll close the show on a lighter story today. Hey, one last note before we go to the next story. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, Caddo Parish was responsible for 3/4 of the prisoners sent to death row in Louisiana. Wow. In the last 5 years. And Crawford is the 158th death row prisoner exonerated since 1973, the center said. So I want both of those things to sink in a little bit. 3/4 of the prisoners sent to death row in the whole state of Louisiana all come from the same parish in the last 5 years. And then over 150 people, almost 160 people have been exonerated in the last 44 years.
And to go to that point, when we talk about Caddo and that parish, if you look at Shreveport, and obviously we're going back, but maybe this is something that's been, deeply rooted. They had more lynchings than all but one county in the South. And then it also was the home of the last capital of the Confederacy. And so when you visit,
they've been doing this for a minute.
Right. Even if you visit that courthouse, you're going to see statues of Confederate generals. You go inside that building, you're going to see pictures and paintings of Confederate generals.
It's crazy. Well, you know what? It's not crazy. What am I talking about? That's the world we live in. The whole reason the flag came down in Charleston last year was because of we live in that kind of world. So it's not crazy. But, I will say it is crazy, though, that you're talking about things from the Confederacy, excuse me. So what are we, 150 years later? Y'all know me, my math is off. However many years later, and we still have the same thing. Like, they still lead the nation in a weird ass category about putting black men to death. That's nothing to laugh at. Mm-hmm. But that what does that say about that area? And obviously,
and it also
we know.
And it goes to show that who's policing who. You know what I mean? And that's the age old thing.
Hey,
but who's policing who?
We have countless episodes about that. People should check out all of our episodes on that. We talked about Part 1 crimes not being solved. There's tons of counties and parishes in this country where literally Part 1 crimes, rape, murder, crimes against people, a lot of those are solved at a less than 20% clip, some less than 10%, all around this country. And so, I was thinking about this the other day. Do you know how many guilty people how many innocent people are in jail today, and how many guilty people are walking around? I mean, if you just truly think about it, if you think about all the crimes that aren't solved, all the plea deals that are taken, because 95% of cases are pled out.
Right.
So if you just truly think about that, I'm on my soapbox here.
You are, but I got plenty of soap. Go ahead.
Right. Plenty of boxes. But anyway, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy when you consider that, because the law doesn't always get it right. And that's why we are on this kick, and we will continue to do cases about exonerations, about the death penalty, about people who are fighting for injustice. So, all right. Soapbox put away. Let's move to the next story. Dateline Chicago. Are you wearing Bose headphones while you're listening to this? If you are, they might be listening. At least according to a lawsuit filed in Chicago Tuesday of this week, where Kyle Zack alleges he was spied on after downloading the Bose Connect app, accusing them of violating the wiretap law. He says he gave his information and they made detailed profiles of his listening habits. He said he was surprised to learn that Bose sent all available media information from his smartphone to third parties such as Segment.io, whose website promises to collect customer data and send it anywhere. All right. So what you got to say about this? You're fancy. I'm sure you have.
Well, at first I was thinking, man, maybe I should try to see if old Spicy was going to have a press conference, and this might be one of those questions, but I don't know if we're going to get that. But no, I mean, this is, you know what though, is really, really funny to me. And so you kind of put that in there as far as, kind of fancy, whatever. But I don't have that kind of fancy money. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, Bose, where Bose, I'm like, just not quite there with Bose. So for me, I'm almost like,
oh, come on, man. All right, so let's talk about the lawsuit. So basically what you're saying is, if you're going to spend $350 on these Bose wireless Quiet Comfort 35 headphones, then you kind of get what you deserve. Because my man's he's suing for more than $5 million. The lawsuit says the case is worth more than $5 million. The damages haven't been specified. He's asking for quite a lot. So you're saying the rich deserve to be punished and be spied on.
No.
Okay, all right.
I just was pointing out that I wasn't being spied on because I can't afford them. Now, with that being said, that's all I was saying. But with that being said, and actually, do they have a contract with the NFL? I mean, do I see like what's my quarterback's name for Seattle? Russell
Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, don't they?
You know what? I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's interesting to know. Because I would think that Bose has so much money that they're not even worried about all this.
True.
That's how they've kept the sharper image and the Bose story in line. But no, I just think this story is so interesting from the standpoint of, maybe I'm naive, man, but I've taken this stuff for granted. I never even thought about this, that somebody could be listening to what, and I guess it's not, because his objection was that if you're listening to an LBGT podcast or, something that's very unique or specific, and they're getting that data, everything that you listen to does not need to be shared publicly. Some things, that's the intimacy of what this medium here, the audio medium, is that the whole intimacy, you getting able to experience stuff. So I thought that was a very valid point. So I'm hoping that my man wins, because obviously if Bose is doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
If Bose is doing it, then I'm like, well, then clearly everybody must be doing it. But Bose just happened to get caught by the one intrepid guy.
Well, you think about it. How many people or how many manufacturers or how many companies are out there separating themselves that are actually doing headphones? You know what I'm saying? You're getting that material. Right. You're getting, or with your contracts or terms of service that you're actually, signing up to, or however you're using your medium. They're all pretty much probably through the same, or if not similar, sites. What was that? What was it? It was what was it called? Sorry about that. It was
where they sell the
Segment
data to?
Segment IO.
Yeah.
So I mean, who else?
Yeah, I mean,
where else is Segment IO? Who else are they involved in?
And
that's just
we should
small.
be clear that right, and we should be clear that that's a website and that promises to collect customers' data and quote send it anywhere. So that's what they. That's a quote from them. That's what they want to do to your data. So it makes sense that Bose has that relationship. And obviously this, what is the app called? And the Bose Connect app is a free app that's available in the Android Play Store or the Google Play Store and an iOS store. So, it's a free app. It's logical that you would sign up and do this, but really you're just signing up for tracking. He's found out. And that's the thing, his lawyer, Christopher Dory, has said that people should be uncomfortable with it. People put headphones on their head because they think it's private. They can be giving out information that they don't want to share. He also said customers do not see the Bose app's user service and privacy agreements when signing up, as you mentioned. And the privacy agreement says nothing about data collection, though. So even if you did see it, according to him, it says nothing about it. So I wanted to do this story just so folks are, mindful of what's happening, especially if you're listening to us, you're listening to me. This is how you get down. This right here is kind of scary. And then I'll tell you one other thing about my naivete, because last month, for instance, a smart sex toy maker called We Vibe, and what a name, We Vibe, agreed to pay $3.75 million to settle claims its app had illegally collected information about how its customer used the product. I mean, if your vibrator, if your rigid female pleasure device,
goodness, yeah, yes,
what is that too much? Hey, I used to work at Condoms to Go, man. I know.
No. I'm just saying. Why would you even think about somebody collecting my data? You know what I'm saying? Right. If that's what I just bought, the last thing on my mind is a privacy agreement. Let me tell you that. As far as you sharing my information.
It doesn't matter if it's in your ears or in your body, okay? Somebody might be listening. The feds are watching, okay?
Because I will... Well, no, I'm not going to go there as far as trying to find what we're trying to find with the other part. But anyway, I got you.
Please, don't go there. So, all right. All right, that's on that note, with you not going there, we should probably go ahead and end the show there. This has been a little longer one. This has been an experiment. We appreciate everybody checking out the show. 2 weeks strong, the Negro News Minute, spicing it up, adding Uncle Jay, my big brother, Jay Rod, to the show. We'll see what happens. We'll see if you guys like them. Let us know. Thanks to everybody who's listened, and we'll holler at you next Monday. We're going to have a new episode of the Vocal Minority Report. We'll have 2 of those coming out here in the next couple weeks. I was going to say my normal outro, but it's about to play, so never mind. Jay, anything to say? You want to tell the people anything?
No, I just want to appreciate this opportunity. I've always, of course, been a fan of yours for your lifetime. No, don't be trying that, because I will clown you. But with that being said, this was a very...
Well, I can edit all this out. So, don't threaten me and try to charge me up on the.
No. I'm just, hey man, I was gonna give you props. Maybe black them eyes or whatever. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys or you having me on the show, man.
All right, brother, I'll holler at you.
Cool.
I'll holler at you, and then we'll holler at the people.
Cool.
All right. For Elevate Digital, the Vocal Minority Report, this has been the Negro News Minute. All power to the people. Peace.